Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a overview of the reality of owning an OF agency and the actual real breakdown of making profit. Because I see a lot of people putting up like they're making, I don't know, 250k a month gross, and then bragging that they're doing 125k profit, or they're claiming that they do 250k a month profit, when the reality isn't like that, and it's just an ego thing to make yourself look better. So I'm going to break down. Some agencies are actually earning 80%. The ones do mainly grey hat and black hat marketing, but the traditional style is 50-50. I'm going to give you a full breakdown, no BS, of actually how much people earn within this industry. So when you see screenshots online, you see gross. You shouldn't count that. It should always be net. You only want to see the net, because that's the net is the 20 when the 20% is taken away from OnlyFans. So when someone makes a purchase of $20 on OnlyFans, 20% is taken by OnlyFans, so it goes down to $16 if it's a $20 purchase, and then the value after that gets half, so it'll be $8 each for if it's a 50-50 split, for a $20 purchase. So it's not what the agency takes home. There's a lot of models who think agencies take a lot more home than they like let on or whatever, but it's just not the reality. Do you know what I mean? So number one, gross revenue versus net revenue. If a creator makes 20 grand gross, this is before any splits with OF, before salaries, commissions, tool cost, blah blah blah. So if you make creators earning 20 grand, you split it in half. If this is gross, you've got to take 4k off, so it'll be 16 grand. And then you have to half it 50-50, so you're down to 8 grand each, right? As a maximum if you had no outgoings. So a typical split normally looks at, right, 50-50 agency split. This is standard. Sometimes it's a 30% to the agency, 70% to the model if it's a bigger model. If it's a bigger model and it's earning a lot more money, it can make sense. You have to work it out using calculations. So we'll go on to number 3, because there's not really much to say on that. This won't be a very long video because it's just a bit of common sense, but I wanted to just put it out there because there's a lot of people who are claiming that they're earning a lot more than they actually are. So if there's a business partner in the equation, how you have to look at it from this: they were earning 20 grand, it got brought down to 16, it's split in half. So now it's 8 grand to the creator, 8 grand to the agency. If the agency's got a business partner, it'll be 4 grand each, and that's if there's no bills at all. So you are really cutting it fine now, and we still haven't deducted chatters, team costs, tools, fees, marketing, content costs. Already the big successful number has shrunk massively. Like someone who's looking like humongously successful, yeah, granted they probably do have a fair bit of money, but it's not as much as you think. Chatter costs, this will be your biggest overhead. If you're running 24/7 chatting, I don't recommend running 24/7 chatting if the model's not earning that much. Or most agencies, depending how big your models are, if they are like a size of 20k a month, you can probably have a chatter cover 2 to 3 accounts, which will be perfect for cost. You can have it 24/7. You won't really feel it, if I'm honest here. But yeah, the industry standard is $2 to $3 per hour, 3 to 5 commission. So if it was $3 per hour, 12 hours per day for 30 days, that's 1,080 per month. So you can double that, and it'd probably be just over 2 grand, maybe near enough 3 grand a month for chatters alone. That's per chatter. Some have 4 or 5 chatters running at once, if they are on huge pages, but as long as it makes sense. So you know, you look at this as a base, you've got to take that away from the 8 grand split that these two guys have had from this 20k split, and they're down to 6 grand, so now 3 grand each. And you know, like, this is, you can change percentages and you can change the amount you pay chatters, but it's not going to make a huge difference. So yeah, chatter cost is a big thing. Then you go into CRM tools. CRM, obviously we use Only Monster, but we used to use Inflow. Depending on how many creators you got, the size of the creators, this can charge between $150 and $400 per month. So you've got to like even take away that away from this $3,000 these people have been left on from the 20k, and then you're down to 2,700, which for some people the average wage in the UK is like $2,700, I believe. So they're on an average wage, so they could just be working a normal job or just working their ass off doing this. Because some people, what they do, the whole idea of a business, in my opinion, is making your money work for you. So actually, if you've done your business correctly, you shouldn't be committing 12, 14 hours a day. You should be more being at the top, overviewing things, maybe an 8-hour day, see how to improve systems and stuff like that. If you are doing like 12 to 14 hours every day, something's going wrong, in my opinion, unless you're learning something new. But then, in my opinion, after years of experience in the industry, you should not be doing 12, 14-hour days every day. Then you've got the content and the media costs, photos and video shoots if you pay for that for your model. Editing, thumbnails, occasionally paid shoots that can equate to $200 to $600 per month. It's eating at your profit even more. So you think you've got a 20k model, you think you're earning a lot of money, but actually you're earning the same as a standard wage of a normal job. The only good thing about this business, and this is where it stands out from anyone else, you can have 3-4 models and your outgoings won't change that much. So for the shoot, you get all your models to go for a shoot. Editing, you can pay your editor probably another $100 more, $200 for the first one, extra $100, and then you're going to be doubling that on a that'll be 40k a month. Then fair enough, you take away the 20% fee, but OFM is king for making a lot of money. I just wanted to put some for everyone to recognise that not everyone's earning as much as they think. So then you've got other operational overheads. This may include admin, VA help, refunds. A lot of people, you think you're earning that much, but then there's all these wankers on OF who do refunds and stuff and disputes. You can lose a lot through that. We do bonuses actually, but only to models that do really well when it makes sense. So we'll pay for them to go on trips and stuff like that. So I wouldn't really worry too much on that. It's your own discretion. Banking and fees, if you've got models from Colombia, Venezuela, there can be fees, but I'd only really work with them if I'm doing black hat or grey hat marketing. And finally, so let's recalculate the real profit. So agency shares 10 grand, chatters near enough 3k, total operating costs 3,800. You still left with healthy if you are solo amount of money, but then it gets halved if you have got a business partner. And that was saying about gross up there. If it was net, it'd be a little bit less. But it's not to say you can't make great money, because you can, and this is the reality of owning a business. Most businesses turn over gross 500k, and then the net profit might be like 140k. It's just such a normal thing to have a lot of costs. So I would say, if you are an agency owner, this can be your biggest bottleneck, is when you have 10 models, your operations can become a little bit shitter because you're overviewing a lot. You've got people coming to you with certain issues. You can employ a manager, he can help you out, but then the manager's coming to you with a lot of issues. It's a lot of time consuming. The more models, in my opinion, the more problems. But definitely, if you build the right systems, you can manage this very, very easily, 10 models. It's when you start pushing 30, 40 models, it can be, when you're horizontally scaling, can be a bit of a headache, a lot more of a difficult task. It's more about employing people with a brain then to help run everything. But yeah, for sure, you could have a higher staff turnover when you have more models. But if you have your employment systems in place and they're good, you shouldn't really have a high staff turnover if you're running everything correctly and getting a good team spirit into play. The next one is, so the reality of the agency profit margins, you're actually making 20 to 35%. But an argument I would say, if the model's doing 100 grand a month and you're on a 35% split, you're still earning a lot more than the average person. Even successful business owners, you are earning way more than anyone else. So this is why this business model will always be elite, and it's always worth, diving into OFM. And if you do have any questions or you want to join my free Discord group, I have all my SOPs and everything you need to know about starting this business and how to make the most profit within it. Please drop me a message on Telegram and I'll give you access to that. That's all that I really wanted to cover. I feel like this is just a lot of waffling and I've just spoken enough. But yeah, don't believe what everyone says. Don't underestimate staffing costs. Don't make that mistake of getting a 24-hour chatting team on a fucking page that's only 2k a month. Don't overestimate margins. Don't scale too quickly. Yeah, burnout's a real thing. Just really take it easy. Build systems. Don't overwork yourself. Which is, a lot of gurus will say, work until you're dead, just sleep when you're dead, and all this. The reality is, like, come on, you are human. Work hard, work as much as possible. I do like 8 to 10 hour days most days. But I've built systems in play. I try to automate as much as possible. And this is the reality. You can earn great money from doing less work than the average job in the UK. A 40-hour week. You should be able to run an agency on a 40-hour week and have crazy profit margins. But this was just to put some insight on, people aren't earning 250 grand a month if they're saying it's gross. It's sometimes more like fucking 20 or 30% of that, maybe even less. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Drop me a message if you've got any questions. Thank you. Bye bye.